It's free TV that you can literally watch on your television. As of next month, we're excited that we're going live on LG TV. We're going live on Samsung television screens as well. And we wanted to create the simplest product ever, whereby you can literally click a button with your remote control, and within 30 seconds, you're watching script TV. And within another 30 seconds, you're earning potentially on a week-to-week or day-to-day basis. It's free TV forever. And more importantly, we have an underlying protocol which saves enterprises and studios a significant amount of money. And to be honest, us as well, on a scalable business. We actually have 19 channels that are laying in wait to come this year. That's what we've already signed agreements on. And that doesn't include some of the exclusive films as well that we have coming later this year. Within 3 to 5 years, we almost have a very, very self-sufficient platform that is truly decentralized. It's decentralized television, truly. We didn't want to just use blockchain technology, but then still have a Web 2, platform, essentially. And this is live TV that is actually adopted and created to be passive. It's something that you don't have to think about. If you actually go to script.tv, within 3 seconds, you're watching TV. You can flick to another channel. The simple fact that producers, publishers, studios, filmmakers don't earn enough. They don't earn enough, and their costs to create that piece of content in time, but of course in money, is astronomical. So for us, if we can fix that problem in terms of storage, in terms of distribution, and in terms of the services, in terms of cutting down that red tape time of 6 months to 7 months, which it takes from saying hello to Netflix to getting your content on Netflix or on Sky Digital or on TiVo, we can cut that down within to a couple of weeks maximum.
Hey, Tokenized family. Welcome back to the 100X show. Yes, it's been a while, but we're back. We have a very, very special project that, disclosure, we are strategic investors in, but very, very bullish on this project. And wanted to bring on one of the founders, Akeem, to basically do a deep dive on the project, give us the whole backstory and why we think this can be a very, very promising project in Web3. Welcome to the show, Akeem. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you, Ian?
Doing well. Definitely a great bull market. So walk us through the project. What are you building?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So for anyone who doesn't know, we're Script Network. We've been building for about 2.5 years now, so during the deep bear into now. And we've ultimately built a protocol that's focused on decentralizing film and television at scale. That's our core overall mission. Essentially what we are as Script Network is a layer 1 open source video network. And we've ultimately got a bunch of different products, but the one that most people use right now, which is what I'm sure we'll talk about largely today, is Script TV. And that's a TV platform that's linear. So it operates very similar to traditional TV that you watch on your sofa, ads every 8 to 10 minutes and multiple channels you can watch 24/7. And that has about 400,000 users at the moment, which we're doing about 2 million minutes every single week on the platform in terms of watch time. So we have that, but we also have an enterprise suite as well, where we cover and ultimately offer decentralized services for storage, for distribution, and for aggregated advertisement as well. So our focus is really on broadcasting as well as streaming in general in the video sector in Web3. So yeah, lots to unpack. But yeah, that's generally what we do.
Yeah, I think definitely very, very innovative. People know I've been into video, even prior to crypto. I had a video production company, then became a YouTuber back in the day, and now still doing videos on YouTube under Tokenmetrics. Web3 hasn't really been disrupted by video yet. There have been a few video projects in the past that we've looked at. One which ended up investing in at the time, JoyStream, just kind of building a decentralized YouTube for Web3. But when we came across your project doing our research, it was actually pretty straightforward. Watch to earn. Very simple concept. Basically, you're tokenizing and providing incentives for people to watch live stream TV. And I think live stream television, or in essence, unbundling, has been a huge innovation in technology, right? Netflix to Pluto TV to Hulu TV. And for us, it was pretty natural to kind of attempt doing this for Web3 with Web3 economics. So kind of walk us through, and let's maybe unpack that.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. The first thing we always want to make clear, and, there's great companies like you've just mentioned that are really focusing on fixing the issue in terms of user-generated content, which is Twitch, YouTube, and really unpacking that problem. We are focused on the broadcasting aspect. And just to be very clear, our plan isn't to replace a YouTube or a Twitch or even a Netflix. We are live television. We're ultimately free live TV that offers ultimately a reward mechanism for users to earn whilst they're watching. one of the things that a lot of people are not maybe aware of, especially those who live in, particular countries, let's say US or the UK or Europe, is that to most, this is actually what people consume on a day-to-day basis. Probably somewhere in the region, well, not probably, in the region of 3 to 4 hours a day per household, there is a television that's on. And more often than not, they're paying a monthly subscription for it, or they have restricted services where they can only watch maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 channels for free. We wanted to unpack that a little bit like 25 years ago, where a bunch of American technology companies realized that music can actually be free, or it definitely could be cheaper than spending $10 a CD. We realized that premium television can actually be free if it's developed not only in the right way, but if there's a mechanism that can ultimately be scalable at a low cost, but ultimately also reward those users as well on a day-to-day basis. So we ultimately have focused on fixing this problem within TV and film for the last 2 to 3 years. And it really is quite simple. Like you said, Ian, it's free TV that you can literally watch on your television within 2 clicks. As of next month, you can turn on an LG TV, you can turn on a Samsung television, or you can, of course, watch on your mobile or on your desktop, which we have live. As of next month, we're excited that we're going live on LG TV. We're going live on Samsung television screens as well. And we wanted to create the simplest product ever, whereby you can literally click a button with your remote control, and within 30 seconds, you're watching script TV. And within another 30 seconds, you're earning potentially on a week-to-week or day-to-day basis, depending on the loyalty or depending on the engagement that you have within our ecosystem. But we really wanted to keep this as simple as possible. It's free television for everyone. It's free TV forever. And more importantly, we have an underlying protocol which saves enterprises and studios a significant amount of money, and to be honest, us as well, on a scalable business, alongside giving rewards on a kickback with a tokenized model. That is ultimately what Script TV is, and ultimately the services that help the father system grow.
How does that work? And how do you make those economics sustainable in the long term?
Yeah, well, I mean, the simplest way to explain it really is that at the moment in Web 2, most companies are using traditional storage houses, which is cloud services like Google Cloud, Alibaba, Tencent, and of course AWS, which is a giant. And they're being charged on transcoding costs, delivery costs, storage costs on a day-to-day basis, which are astronomical. Ultimately, with Web3 using our own Layer 1 services, which is one of the reasons why we developed that, we're ultimately able to save up to 80% on those costs, not just for ourselves, but also for the companies that are storing that content. That is the large elephant in the room, which is the cost driver, which prevents a lot of these companies being able to offer these channels or these pieces of content for free or for a low cost in Web 2. And that's the reason why now in Web 3, with these services and with the deals that we're able to ultimately create for these studios, we're actually able to pick up a lot of this content for little or no cost. And then we do a rev share deal on the advertising, which is our core monetization driver. So essentially, we're an advertising business, or that's how we predominantly make money. That's off-chain, and that's on the content that runs every 8 to 12 minutes on the platform. So if you watch, so on our live TV platform, we, depending on your channel, every 15 minutes on average, currently this is news, there is ultimately content that is being shown, which is of course advertising. This is ads from maybe Aldi, from Google, from Grandpa Download Cheese, so world-class companies. And then of course, we then get paid ultimately every month from those publishers through our protocol in fiat, in which we can, of course, provide kickbacks. We can do burn to earn models, but more so we're a sustainable business that is scalable whilst also being able to offer tokenized benefits for our users as well at the same time. So that's the reason why we're able to do that. Essentially, we've just uplifted and taken away all of the issues that is very, very cost inefficient from Web 2 that a lot of studios are ultimately being crippled by. And then now we've, of course, brought that service to Web 3 with a faster, intuitive service, which, of course, has a bunch of other benefits as well that ultimately only Web 3 can do. So that's one of the things that we've been really working hard on doing, because we want to we don't want to just fix the problem for the users and ultimately give them rewards for a replacement of paying a monthly fee or, more selection or more options. But we actually also wanted to fix the issue, which is with the filmmakers, those who have worked so hard to build a company or build a film or create a film or TV show and ultimately are crippled with costs in Web 2. So that's our long-term vision. And that's the reason why we built this protocol with our own technology and of course with our own Layer 1 as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes more sense. But in simple form, we're sustainable because we cut the elephant in the room, which is the big costs, which Web2 ultimately suffer at the moment from.
Now, one of the things people probably are wondering is, okay, you guys are bringing live TV, watch to earn to Web3, but how do you source the content? And how do you, because that's going to be pretty much the big question is this content people want to actually watch?
Absolutely, yeah. Great question. One of the things that, of course, we understand is really important for us to go from 400,000 users to 4 million and to 40 million is for us to compete with the likes of, in this realm and this part, even though our business is a lot different, is to focus on delivering world-class content for, of course, our users. If you're comparing to some of our competitors, which I'm sure we'll talk about during this discussion, but if you look at those like Pluto, which is probably the Web2 leader of live free TV, their content, of course, is definitely much better. So we're excited to really improve, which we are doing at the moment every month, doing bigger deals, doing better deals with these studios and getting more content, ultimately, not just in quantity, but in terms of quality as well. Now, to look at the brass tacks and ultimately how that's possible, it's simply because we're able to uplift and cover all of the costs in terms of the storage, the bandwidth, the transcoding, the delivery, but we're also able to give them a really, really profitable rev share deal as well, which essentially means there's zero downside to them. What a lot of these studios have is that you can imagine they have 10,000 hours of content, and 9,000 of those, 1,000 of those hours are maybe shipped off to MTV or to Disney Channel or to Netflix, which are exclusive. But the other 9,000 hours are non-exclusive hours that probably about half of those hours are probably not even bought by anyone at that time. No one's got the license or the rights for it. And it's ultimately just almost sitting in dust. Of course, it's in the cloud, so it's not literally in a warehouse, but it's almost being unused. But they've already harbored those costs for it to produce that content or to buy the rights for that content, alongside the fact that, of course, they are paying the daily storage, transcoding, and delivery costs that Web2, of course, would have with the likes of Tencent and AWS, as I mentioned. So for them, it's quite straightforward. Do as many deals as possible in the most profitable way possible for them. And, fortunately for us, there is very few companies in live television that is ultimately constantly buying or acquiring content. To be honest with you, and that's actually one of the things that's not been too difficult to actually garner in terms of the content that we have coming. And just to finish on that, we're excited that although we have 7 or 8 channels at the moment, which many of them are almost just a sample, we actually have 19 channels that are laying in wait to come this year. That's what we've already signed agreements on. And that doesn't include some of the exclusive films as well that we have coming later this year. So that's just now. But that being said, we're always very clear and transparent with our community on the way things are. We understand as a business, we're not going to have Netflix content this year. It will take time. They spend probably about 900 million, I think, this quarter or last quarter in terms of content. So it will take time. But we also say that Netflix 10 years ago also didn't have the content that it had today. So it's definitely a growing aspect. And of course, the larger we grow, the better content we'll have, the more exclusives we'll have. We're looking to bring in live football. We've already got live snowboarding, live racing on our content, on our channel. So we're really trying to increase and make this a powerhouse for TV.
What kind of live football do you plan to bring onto the platform? Because I do think because we used to kind of sell live TV.
The thing is with live TV is, with live sport is very, very complex. Firstly, because of the rights and also because of the technology that is required to ultimately have very, very little lag and to ultimately be able to manage that uplift on a day-to-day basis, 24/7, 365 days a year, not just for one TV show or one match. So we're currently speaking from a basketball and football perspective, we're looking at and talking to some of the lower, you could say less popular leagues, which we're in advanced conversations with. There is one major league that we are very, very close to completing an agreement with. And that is something that we're super excited about that is almost certainly going to be announced in the next quarter. But from that perspective, we understand from our side that it is something that we have to do in steps. And for that, live TV is one thing, which is obviously here, as you could see, this is live to the minute. I think there's a 20 or 18-second lag on this live news feed, which we have live news on multiple channels. But live sport is a different story and it's a different beast. So we're just ensuring that our technology can ultimately scale to that at this stage. And that's something that we're working on really, really hard to bring. But we're almost confident and sure that definitely in the next quarter, we can give some and deliver some huge news in terms of live sport beyond what we already have.
Okay, that's awesome. Now let's delve deeper into the tokenomics and the token utility. We think consumers and Web3 would be one of the big spaces or narratives this cycle. So with you guys really focusing on bringing consumers more to Web3, walk us through how the two-token model works.
For us, we really wanted to work really hard on creating a sustainable ecosystem. So one that actually isn't just focused solely on rewards and one that isn't just solely focused on governance. And with that we would look back in 3 to 5 years and we would have a sustainable model that essentially still works just like it did on the first week. And that's something that is really, really important to us, because if you look at the model of many other projects, 99.9% of them, that isn't the case. So our tokenomics is somewhat different to many. It was different from the beginning in terms of the fact that we had a high circulating supply going out of the gate purposely, because we wanted it to be more sustainable long-term rather than up, down, crash, up and down, and really, really something that didn't look maybe too attractive to long-term investors. But more so, we wanted to create a two-token model that actually made sense. At the moment, what you can see to most who are familiar with SCPT or Script Network, is that we have one of the two tokens launched so far, and that's SCPT, and that's what you could see here. And that is focused ultimately on governance, staking, and advertising. Whereas we also have SPAY, which is focused on rewards, and essentially it's the reward token for users to earn on a day-to-day basis whilst they're watching television. In simple terms, SCPT is focused not just on general protocol governance, but we also have content governance for the first time ever. So what we've built is a process using automation tools whereby users, as of next quarter, can actually then have tokens, which means if they own tokens, let's say they own 10,000 tokens, they can actually put forward a request to say, hey, I want less French thrillers on the platform, or I want an American drama channel. And then those with their tokens can vote for or against. And then it automatically, if passed, goes through the process of automatically selecting one of the pieces of content in our library that matches the proposal for it to go onto the next schedule to be aired on our platform. So our focus with this is within 3 to 5 years, we almost have a very, very self-sufficient platform that is truly decentralized. It's decentralized television, truly. We didn't want to just use blockchain technology, but then still have a Web 2, platform, essentially. So it was really important for us to actually build a model that genuinely, in 3 to 5 years, with, of course, the right constructs, the users and the holders essentially genuinely control a large part of the platform and ultimately decide upon what they want to watch. And of course, the rest of it is staking, and of course, our advertising as well, because we have Web3 clients already, as well as, of course, more that will come down the line, which will be wanting to pay for ad space, because we are one of, if not the only live ingested video advertising platform that has in-stream video ads and a video layer from that perspective with its own platform. So we have a very unique platform where we can actually offer ads and offer video services to users, but also, of course, to enterprises and to studios. Whereas SPAY is focused on rewards, and of course, it's the gas token as well. And our focus is really to make this reward model sustainable. As mentioned before, that in 5 years' time, users are still earning a decent amount on terms of a day-to-day basis in relative terms, but also those tokens can actually be rewarded with a lot of brand partnerships and cinema tickets, festivals, and really trying to bring this to the real life outdoors and outside of Block Explorer. So that's our focus long-term with these two tokens.
Now, you guys have done a great job in terms of always having updates and always just getting the community involved. And you've done a great job growing the community, whether it's on X, Twitter, different platforms. What's your secret?
We still haven't got anywhere yet, to be honest with you. We've got 400,000 users, but in the grand scheme of things, we're speaking at an event next week on the TV side. A lot of the platforms we compete with have 4 million, 5 million users, 100 million users. So we got a long way to go. However, one of the things that's helped us is that I think we kicked off when we went into beta, we got our first 15,000 users really quickly. And it was ultimately through doing a raffle based on not just signing up, but actually using our platform on a day-to-day basis. And then we, of course, had an algorithm auto tool, which actually picked out real engaged users, not bots, and those who are ultimately using it just for potential rewards. And after we got that initial 15,000 users, it kicked on. The 15,000 turned to 30,000 and so on and so forth. Fortunately, with us, our business obviously is more than Script TV, but if you look at Script TV on its own, it's a very simple thing to adopt for most users. I mean, I think it's the only thing besides eating and drinking is that almost every single human on the planet consumes, which is content. And also, people love to consume content that is passive. And this is something that, we always want to explain to people, because I'm sure a lot of people who are listening are like, oh, this is trying to replace Netflix, or no, not so ever. Netflix is a SVOD, so streaming video on demand platform. And that is a completely different process that goes through in a human's head. They sign up and then they spend maybe 5, 10, if it's me, 30 minutes trying to find like the best show to watch. This is live TV that is actually adopted and created to be passive. It's something that you don't have to think about. If you actually go to script.tv, within 3 seconds, you're watching TV. You can flick to another channel. It also has, of course, the downsides and the spontaneity, which means that, if you turn on the TV 5 minutes late, you've missed the first 5 minutes. But it also allows us to do a lot of cool things, like anyone who's watched between 4 and 6 p.m. gets this reward. And it's these sort of spontaneous rewards, is the fact that it's live TV and it's so easy to engage with, that's ultimately really helped us grow, and it's ultimately helping us adopt more users very, very quickly. And I think ultimately the other thing is to make it really simple. I think one of the things that really inspired us was, obviously I've been in crypto for a long, long time, but one of the things that I think was one of the big shifts in the NFT market was NBA Top Shot. And it's not just because they had obviously all the licenses, but it's because they made it so simple. I have friends that watch basketball, and they were like, they've never heard of crypto or blockchain. They were like, oh, what's this NBA Top Shot? They wanted to take part. And the genius of it was, if you go to their website and you press Control F, and you type blockchain or crypto or any complex word in Web3, you don't see it. They don't have anything to do with it, although they are a Web3 company. And I want to be sure that I'm someone who's been in the industry since late 2016. And if it's something that I don't understand within 10 seconds, it means how is my mom or how is your sister going to understand it in 5 minutes or even in 5 hours? So it's really important that we made it really simple. We obviously are a Web3 company, but we are very, very simple on that fact. And, that's the reason why before we launch a mobile app, our next big product launch is the fact that we're going live on Samsung TV and LG TV devices as well. So if you have a Samsung TV device or an LG TV device, a smart LG TV, then you can watch Script TV from this quarter. So that's why it's so important, because I want my mum to understand it just as much as I want the DJ to understand it as quick as possible.
Yeah, I think that's definitely how crypto gets to 1 billion users. Now, you've mentioned people basically can get rewards for watching TV, basically watch to earn. But how do you prevent people from gaming the system? Because in crypto, it happens all the time. Whether they're airdrop hunters or civil attacks, how do you prevent somebody else turning on 10 TVs just to earn tokens?
Absolutely, yeah. It's the first thing we thought about. How do you prevent someone who's going to do that? And actually, it's been something that probably over all of 2023, we worked on. So we started with obviously creating a general bunch of formulas and our general protocol, which is 13 pages of our white paper alone. Then we ran it through with multiple tests. We used Machinations, which is obviously a game theory platform, and our ML guys, our machine learning guys, have ultimately crunched data for about 3 months straight. If 10,000 people on the platform watching 3 hours a day, this is what will happen. If we have 100 million users watching 5 hours a day and everyone's trying to click that button, what happens? Not just in terms of how many points are and how many tokens are coming out of the ecosystem, but actually how much the value is likely to drop or increase during this process. In simple terms, because I know people are listening for the first time, I guess in simple terms, you could say similar to Steppen in terms of the fact that the way that they have sneakers and they have dynamic NFTs that ultimately means that if I run every single day for 5 years and you're starting today, I'm going to earn more today than you are because I've got a more upgraded NFT. We have a similar thing where we have Script Glass, where ultimately you upgrade and you earn more tomorrow than you did today if you, of course, are a loyal user. But of course, to do that, it means you have to burn tokens to recharge those glasses. You have to burn tokens to ultimately get gems and we've essentially gamified that aspect. However, we still wanted to ensure we done a lot of things different to, Steppen and some of the others, and that's not knocking them, but we've had the benefit of hindsight where we've looked at what's gone right and what's gone wrong for a lot of these protocols. And one of the key things is unrealistic emissions at the beginning, where people are earning $300 a minute, and that's not sustainable. So we wanted to make it sustainable. So in 5 years, it's also as successful as it is in year one. But more importantly, we also wanted to ensure we've obviously got a different problem to running apps, for example, whereas of course it's very easy to put on 10 TVs. So how do you fix that problem? So with that, we have capture, which you can actually see at the bottom right of the screen now. That is something you need to enter at the beginning and at the end of every session. If you don't, the tokens are automatically burned. And more so to that point, you can only have, what we ultimately do is those glasses, you can only get one of those glasses for free. And after that, you have to pay for additional glasses as well. And it ensures that it's actually impossible, essentially, for you to game the system or for you to have 100 laptops and go to sleep, because you're not going to earn anything because you have to enter the capture. And a level 0 glass can only earn you even less than a cent every month. From that perspective, we want to ensure that we have the right type of users that are using the platform every day, but more so a sustainable, you could say, ecosystem that doesn't rely on people gaming it to try and just essentially earn more. And for us, it's important because we have a relationship with our publishers, which is our advertisers. We have a relationship with our channel providers. And the last thing we would want is 5 million people gaming the system, not genuinely watching the content. So we wanted to ensure that this is the case through some of the models that we've built out. I will continue to do that over the next coming weeks, months, and years.
Okay, that's awesome. Anything else you'd like to share with our Tokenmetrics family about the project?
Yeah, I think one of the things that is exciting with what we have, of course, we've spoken a lot about Script TV and of course, the user side and the benefit from a reward standpoint. But I think from our perspective, one of the exciting things is really what we can offer and what we are already offering to Web3 companies already, alongside, of course, a growing list of Web2 platforms that we are speaking to and onboarding, is essentially the enterprise services. So most of the companies within Deepin, we were talking about competitors before, but most of the companies within Deepin, or you could say Web3 video, they of course have unbelievable services, which we also have in our own way, which is storage facilities, the ability to transcode and distribute on chain through our node network. But actually, one of the key things we can bring as a driver and a unique point within Script TV is our distribution. So we can actually take content that you would own, whether it's you having it on YouTube in a moment, you selling it to Netflix, or even content that you have essentially promoting your project. And we can actually create a channel for you, a 24/7 live streaming channel. It can be ingested into our network. And we also can ingest a player into your own platform and on your page/website as well, which you can then essentially have almost like a 24/7 live streaming channel on your platform as well. So we can do all of that alongside, of course, offering kickbacks in regards to advertising splits in terms of the rewards that will come, of course, from that watch time that is earned. So we essentially can do aggregated distribution services to, over 100 million devices. I mean, we will be on over 200 million devices by the end of next quarter. So we can offer these services, which no one else can ultimately offer at the moment. And for us, it's really powerful because it means we can take a project, whether it's an NFT company that has a lot of video, one of our close partners, Combo Network, which have a bunch of gamers that are currently streaming on multiple different platforms that they are ultimately garnering or gathering the rights for. And we can actually take that gaming content, put it on our platform, give it a channel, a name, whatever they would want it to be, and live stream it 24/7 with benefits like rewards that users can earn whilst watching that content as well. So that's kind of the thing that we're really excited about beyond this, because for us to fix the user problem is huge. actually the big crippling problem in the industry within film and video is the simple fact that producers, publishers, studios, filmmakers don't earn enough. They don't earn enough, and their costs to create that piece of content in time, but of course in money, is astronomical. So for us, if we can fix that problem in terms of storage and in terms of saving that money, in terms of distribution, if we can increase that to 200 million devices in no time, and in terms of the services, in terms of cutting down that red tape time of 6 months to 7 months, which it takes from saying hello to Netflix to getting your content on Netflix or on Sky Digital or on TiVo, we can cut that down within to a couple of weeks maximum. And that is our real game changer. Of course, we have a lot more, but for now, our focus is really growing this into a machine that we really feel it will be. But of course, there's so much to do, and we're super excited to do that.
That's definitely very exciting. You might have to check that out for Tokenmetrics.
Absolutely. I mean, you could do that for sure. And that's the service that can be offered. So, but yeah, appreciate your time.
Any last words you want to say to our Tokenmetrics family?
Yeah, just thank you for listening. Pleasure being here as always. Can't wait to go on the next one. And if you haven't already, be sure to sign up to Script TV, www.script.tv. But I think besides that, if you are part of the community or you are interested in what we're doing, head to our documentation, our white paper. We have a roadmap at the bottom of our homepage as well, which is token.script.tv. Look forward to seeing you in the community on Discord or Telegram. And, let's change TV and film forever. That's our goal. And that's what we're looking to do step by step.
Yeah, I mean, very, very exciting project. I think it kind of sells itself, right? Watch TV. People watch TV all the time, especially if you're a consumer, whether it's live stream or YouTube. And if you can get rewarded for doing that, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a very, very easy sell for people to get into crypto and Web3 and really learn the benefits and how it can change the incentives and the economics of watching TV or just crypto in general. That being said, thank you, Akeem, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we have even more content for you at Tokenmetrics. Get there using the link down below.